Hi, I am Arshdeep Sandhu from News18. We welcome you to a special interview with Pradeep K. Khosla, who is a Chancellor of UCSD. He is with us here. So, welcome you to News18.
Thank you.
How do you feel coming back here? Also, working with a university like Plaksha. What is the idea?
So coming back here is emotional for me because I was born in Amritsar, technically, but I lived all my life in Bombay, and I have a lot of relatives in Amritsar and Delhi. And this being halfway in between, you can tell over the years, my uncles and aunts, they went through Jalandhar, they went through Chandigarh, they went through a whole bunch of regions out here. So I used to come here very often. But I've not been here in a long time, but this is very emotional. And the fact that Plaksha is here is the reason I'm here today. And working with Plaksha, I think is, I was going to say once in a lifetime opportunities. There are many universities being built in India, but not one that I can think of like Plaksha. Plaksha, thodi special hai because it's built from scratch. It is built to be great. The DNA is of greatness. So I'm very excited to be part of this collaboration.
कैसे comparison करेंगे?
So UCSD, which is University of California, San Diego, 60 साल की है, 60 years old. But the way UCSD was created was from excellence. It was hiring superstars to come to San Diego to build a university. And Plaksha is the same way. It's created from scratch, but created with the vision of the founders who are investing their hard-earned resources, and their vision is one of excellence. So I think it compares to UC San Diego 60 years ago.
Because here we talk about changing the education system or improving it, that it is falling behind the times. Industry ready students हमें चाहिए, वो नहीं मिल रहे हैं. तो क्या changes आने चाहिए? What do you think?
So multiple changes, primarily curriculum में changes आने चाहिए. So for example, computer science should be made compulsory for everybody, because without computer science and computing, there's hardly anything you can do which will support the economy, which will support the new jobs. So I think Plaksha has an opportunity to do that.
Even the liberal arts students?
I think so. I think liberal arts should have broad-based education, and computer science should be part of it. And I think computer science and engineering should have broad-based education, and liberal arts should be part of it. So what is liberal arts to computer science would be the opposite of liberal arts. There would be computer science to liberal arts.
We were talking earlier that Plaksha University is a place where computer science students would also be taught humanities.
Right.
So how is it different, or why is it necessary? Because we haven't seen that.
So you've not seen it, but I can tell you, at UC San Diego, you can take any major, English, literature, social sciences. You cannot graduate without a course in physics, mathematics, and computing. And I think that's what Plaksha is all about, because liberal arts is a very limited way of defining general broad-based education. Broad-based education means you need a little bit of arts, a little bit of humanities, a little bit of social sciences, and technology as your base. And then from there, you build your specialization. So even if you're BA in English, you should have this, and then you become a literature expert later on.
You are also a member of BOG's of Academy for Research and Innovation in India, appointed by the Prime Minister himself in 2020. So what is the work that you are doing through this?
So that academy has to do with multiple government institutions that used to be research-only institutions that now have the authority to offer degrees, right? So what they're going from research-only to more education and offering degrees. So it's a good thing. I think India is doing the right thing by doing that. But I think places like Plaksha serve a different purpose. So if you look at the ecosystem, there's public universities, there's private universities, there are four-year universities, there are PhD universities. So Plaksha is occupying this niche in a brand new university with no constraints. Think about what the future India should look like, what the future of population should look like, and build a curriculum around that.
So IIT Kharagpur से UCSD
Right.
के chancellor, 8th chancellor, and you have been making some ripples by fundraising. So what is the experience like, or how tough it was, because you also said in some interview that you didn't expect this to happen.
Right. So IIT Kharagpur से मैं 1980 में graduate हुआ. So 1980 to 82, I worked in Tata Consulting and Siemens. And then I did not see an opportunity, so I went abroad. So when I finished PhD in 86, nobody that looked like me, that talked like me with an accent, was the president or chancellor of any big American institution. So fortunately, took a long time, but I'm one of the first chancellors of a top-ranked institution of Indian origin. There are other chancellors of Indian origin, but UC San Diego is like the top 10 institutions. So in that sense, I'm very honored. It was actually, it was not an easy road, but I was not looking to walk on that road. It was an accidental walk. So it just happened, one accident after the other. It worked to my benefit, and I ended up being chancellor.
Also, I think many would like to know this. How do you raise funds? पैसा कैसे आ रहा है?
So, you raise funds by asking people. So, so on one hand, you can say I'm the bhikhari, of public institutions, but we are trying to raise money for public good, because in the U.S., there's a lot of advantage for people to give money to nonprofit public institutions. It is accomplishing a vision that they could not on their own with their resources, but if they give it to a university, then we can combine with other resources. And I think Plaksha is the same way, where the foundation of Plaksha is these founders. They gave their hard-earned money. They didn't have to do it, but they had a vision. And they said, if we all put it together, we can accomplish the vision. And that's exactly what happens at UC San Diego and other universities. And Plaksha over time will also decide and figure out how to raise funds from Indian philanthropy.
Do you think the government institutions in India can also do this? Or
Actually, government institutions are doing it. IITs are raising money like there's no tomorrow. So they are actually doing it, and they have figured out how to do it. But IITs also have a 75-year history, and there's a lot of alums who have done really well in the U.S. And I think Plaksha will need some time, but they start with a very strong foundation of strong donors.
you talked about curriculum, that we need to change the curriculum. So you graduated from IIT Kharagpur in
Right.
1980s. Do you think कुछ change हुआ है या अभी भी वहीं पे है?
So I have not seen the curriculum recently, but I can tell you, people who have graduated much after me, there's more emphasis on humanities and social sciences. I think the curriculum has to become a little bit broader, and some of the government institutions, partly because of their age and other reasons, don't have the flexibility, but Plaksha has infinite flexibility. Plaksha can decide to do whatever they want, whatever makes sense. And I think they're doing the right thing by listening to people, not just all across India, but all over the world, bringing top people here and getting ideas from the best, and then using them to combine and create a curriculum that would be unique.
So you have signed an MOU with Plaksha.
Right.
So इसमें क्या होगा?
So MOU is for collaboration for student exchanges, for research project collaboration, for summer internships. So the MOU by itself is not the output. The MOU is a framework that enables people to create the right output. So now the question is, how are people here and at UC San Diego going to be enabled, and what ideas will they have to build a great institution, both here and that would influence UC San Diego also?
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
So this was Pradeep K. Khosla, Chancellor of UCSD, who is here to sign an MOU with Plaksha University to create industry-ready people, industry-ready graduates who can go and work in larger institutions, who can go and work in the world. And we have a workforce ready to be involved in the companies or involved in the bigger organizations. So thank you so much for joining us.